Hey, I just wanted to share some thoughts about words. The thing about language is that, or one of the things that makes language difficult, communication difficult, is that words are not technical, um, unless you're talking about a particular field of study or a particular job or skill. A lot of times, words could mean a lot of different things. For instance, um, the word wash. The word wash in English comes from an Old English word that was particularly used specifically to refer to washing clothes. Um, there was another word that was more commonly used for washing the body or dishes or whatever. And when you wash clothes, you use this word. And the meaning itself is sort of related. Like the root of the word is just means water or to wet something, to put water on something. And even the sort of as the word sort of went, the same root that developed into the Old English word, when it developed into Old French, it actually specifically meant to stain, soil, or soak. So you can see how there was this early connection with washing clothes where you like dip them in water and get them really wet and soak them and let you're trying to let the water really get in there and dislodge the soil and stains and whatnot. And of course, it's come around to modern times, modern English. Like the word just means to wash, right? To wash, to cleanse, to bathe something. You took soap and a rag and you wash it, right? Well, maybe technically, but not exactly. For instance, Merriam-Webster lists wash can be used as a verb, both transitive and intransitive, as a noun, an adjective, and just as a transitive verb, it has 9 definitions. As an intransitive verb, 6. So some of the definitions are close to that idea of, like, for instance, 1a, to cleanse by or as if by the action of a water, such as, or a liquid, such as water. To remove something like dirt by rubbing or drenching in a liquid, drench. But also to overspread with light, suffuse. So you can wash something with light. So not exactly technically washing. You can also wash by passing a liquid through something and not just over the outside of something, which is a different nuance of meaning. You can wash something by not trying to cleanse it or with water or remove dirt with water, but to actually carry or move something with water. Like, for instance, the houses were washed away by the flood. The flood was not rinsing them or cleansing them or passing through them. It was passing through them, but the idea is the flood waters carried the houses away. It moved them with water. It was washed. They were washed away. But then what I really like is really almost like this opposite meaning. Definition 8 is to cause to swirl. And the example it gives is washing coffee around in his cup is the example sentence. So if you take your coffee cup and you sort of just do this little motion to make the coffee spin inside, you are washing coffee around in your cup. Now, not only are you not in any way cleansing your cup with water, you are actually swirling a liquid around inside of it that will stain it, which is the opposite of what you want to do when you are, generally speaking, technically washing something. So we just don't really use words technically. So why do we expect other societies use words technically too? That's where we get into a lot of trouble when we try to translate things, or it's why things get lost in translation quite often. You're not a bad translator if something's lost in your translation. It's just the way language works. Words mean things, but they mean things broadly. And they're flexible in their use. Or I should say, they mean things, perhaps not broadly, perhaps narrowly, but they're flexible in their use. They can be used literally, figuratively, by extension, by affiliation. And so it's always been kind of interesting to me that there is, in the heat of the debate on baptism, what the Greek word baptizo comes up, and there's such strong emphasis on what the Greek word baptizo technically means. Just kind of seems like a misuse of language to try to hammer home a point based on what a word technically means. Really goes back to the verse. Let me look it up real quick. Where Paul says, for the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. The letter of the law. So that's 2 Corinthians 3, verse 6. The letter of the law kills. And I think that applies here. Getting technical causes division and debates, especially unnecessarily, because that's not how words are really used. But the Spirit, and in whom we have unity in Christ, the Spirit gives life. Anyway, that's my contribution. Thanks.